Morning, everybody. It is January 28th now. We're back into regular daily vlog. I'm sitting here on my floor, messing with computer, trying to figure out the proper cable that I need for my new graphics card and trying to order it because Micro Center doesn't have it. So there's no point driving all the way down there. But I don't know what they're called. And I'm not sure. This is half of the cable I need. I need the same thing, but this end of the cable does not have the same thing at the end of it. So that's a little frustrating. It has all these other things. So I just want to play Phasma, but we're also going to move the computer because I've been having a lot of problems with it being down here and not being able to read like my mouse and stuff. So we're going to adjust where the computer is. I'm going to start some laundry. We're picking up Mambo around noon today, apparently. I checked in with her, so it's currently like 9. I've been up for several hours. I am in Eastern time right now. So it's only a 2-hour difference. It's not like Japan. Oh, that was a rough time difference, rough jet lag. So while I have the computer assembled a little bit, we're going to do that. So I'm going to throw a load in, start doing this, continue listening to Dreams Lie Beneath. I will come back and do some reviews of books. This is the stack of books that I read behind me there. That's what I read. I didn't finish. I got tired last night, so I didn't finish reading Emily Wilde, so I'll finish that today. And unpacking and stuff. But we desperately need to do laundry because all my clothes are covered in Bombadil hair. I love him, but they're all covered in his hair. It's a problem. Cool. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today so far. And we'll probably stream later. We're going to try to stream later and get back and take it back from someone streaming on my channel. I gave her permission, but still. That was twice. Twice my stream has been taken. So anyway, there we go. We're going to do that now and random rambling here. Hello, we have successfully moved computer, cleaned up a little bit over here, was working on spreadsheet. That's because I was entering some of the books that I got at like Cosign and stuff. I hadn't had a moment to do that. Laundry is done and we got the all clear to go get Mambo. Let's go get the baby. Look who's back. We just made it home and she was starving. So we have some foods that we are enjoying right now. Yes. Yeah. Happy girl. Very happy girl. On the way back, so you get off the highway, we're at the light waiting to actually merge onto the regular street that we get on, and she's on my shoulder as she rides in the car on my shoulder, and the girl next to us just starts howling with laughter, rolls down her window. I roll down mine a bit to hear, and she's like, "What kind of dog is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Sun Conure. It's a rare breed of dog." So she was thoroughly enjoyed. Mambo was talking the whole way, telling me all her exploits, what she did. Were you having fun? Even though you were kind of a bad girl. They forgot how loud she was. And she might have done a bite, but now we're home. We're happy, eating our treats. And we're just going to put everything together. We've got to clean a bunch of stuff still. Yeah, we got to clean up. Because her little play area is very dirty. And her inside of her temp cage, now her carrier is dirty. Yeah, basically the carrier's function is just from place to car. And then once she's in car, she's out. Because she just wants to be on your shoulder. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't fly in the car. She doesn't move in the car. She just wants to snuggle up under your neck and be there. For warmth, although because it is very cold, even though I'm trying to like blast the heat, trying to keep her warm. But yeah, otherwise she doesn't move. She just clicks away, makes her flip-flop noise because transit motion means flip-flop noise. That's how she functions. So I think we're going to get ready to start streaming because I feel very absent from the stream world. So we'll get some of that. But before we do that, we have some reviews to do. All right, let's begin. I mean, I still have 2 books I'm finishing, so we still have to finish Emily Wilde, and we have 2 hours left of Dreams Lie Beneath. So I don't know where to set you right now because my arm hurts. We'll put you over here. We'll go yonder. I don't know what was filming or not, but anyway, it's time for some reviews. The first book that I finished, well, okay. I did reviews. No, I did reviews of Dracula, and I did review A City Beyond the Glass, so that's good. So the next book after Dracula, I read entirely on the first flight, was Brady von Althwis and the Pesky Pest Controller. This is the first book in a middle grade series by Tycho Dwellis, and this is very cute. If you like Addams Family kind of stuff, you will enjoy this. It's very Addams Family. It's one normal kid who has a whole family of demons and ghosts and weird creatures and stuff. Like his aunt's a swamp witch, his uncle is a ghost, poltergeist kind of creature, his dad's a demon, and it's very, very fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. And I talked to Tycho a bit after. He's like, this is the weakest of the series. I'm like, if this is the weakest of the series, I'm gonna love the rest of it. So I do have to get my hands on it. I only own the first book, but it's just fun. A really fun middle. It's very hard for me usually to enjoy middle grades, but I thoroughly enjoyed this one just because I think it really captures the vibe that it's going for, and I loved it. I do think though, because it is called And the Pesky Pest Controller, I think it needed more of the Pesky Pest Controller. Someone's playing with her balls. You play with your ball? Yeah. So because the Pesky Pest Controller, you see him in the beginning and then at the end for the climax. I think it would, well, you see him come out briefly. I think it needed a bit more of it to really show that this is, our kind of villain. Like, it's called that, so you would think there would be more dealing with him. So that's my only, real dock of stars, but otherwise it's thoroughly enjoyable. I love the characters. I think the kiddos are great. There is great disability rep in here as well. His best friend or the girl that he meets becomes a very close friend, was born without her arm. She has half of her arm basically. But she's also a gymnast and is not going to let that get in her way, and very, very cool, awesome girl character there. Brady is bullied, and you really feel his kind of internal turmoil through that. And I thought it was despite being a fantasy, fun, weird middle grade, it had very real moments in it. And I love the dynamic between him and his parents as well. Very real parenting that's not toxic. It's just, this is the reality of it. When you have, a dad with a fireball for a head. It's great. It's great fun. So thoroughly enjoy, highly recommend Brady von Althwis. This is also one of the 23 of 2023. Hey, so we've done that. All right. Next up, who did I finish next? I think I finished this. I finished this next. I didn't do a whole lot of audiobook reading while I was with my sister, just because there wasn't really opportunity. And I like to do things while I do audiobooks, and there wasn't a lot of that. Plus my nephews took up a lot of my time. But I did read the entirety of the Mime Order, chunky baby, over 500 pages, so that gets to go in for Gildathon. This is the sequel to the Bone Season, and again, I read a lot of 5-star reads, by the way, for this. So this is a 5-star, the next book is a 5-star, the book I'm currently reading, I'm pretty sure is going to be, actually both the books I'm currently reading are going to be 5 stars. I'm fairly certain, unless it ruins something by the end. But this is a 5-star read. I thoroughly enjoy this. I love Samantha Shannon's world building. I love her characters. The characters in this feel so, so real. So we're in this kind of dystopian, futuristic London. I'm not going to tell you the full story of what has happened due to spoilers. I do recommend reading the Bone Season, but there are people who are clairvoyants there's different classes of clairvoyance, and our main character Paige is a dream walker, so she can kind of enter people's minds almost. not like mind reading or anything, but she can go into their dreamscape. She can push them out of their body. She can give them nosebleeds. And she fights she's just an awesome character. It's a very high class. So she's a very coveted person, and she's involved with this secret race of kind of aliens, fantasy creatures. Not sure what to really call them, but they're called the Refame. And based on the events from the last book, she has escaped that situation, has an ally in the Refame, and they have also kind of a forbidden attraction to each other, I will say. It's very fun. But the Refame are kind of immortal creatures, and so that's a damper on it, but also it's very much it's forbidden for them to be together. But that's not the main plot. That's the subplot of this. The big thing of this is there are also these London syndicates. So originally Paige is part of kind of this gang, and called the Seven Seals. She's the demolisher for this gang, and she returns to them in this, but there's a lot going on. There are deaths happening. There are weird things, mysteries unraveling, and it's a very expansive plot and a very expansive world, and I just really love everything about this. I don't really have complaints. I think it's a great series so far. The next book is The Song Rising, which I have right here because it needs to go into place. I am sad this one's smaller. How much is this one? Not even 400. It's like a 350. Oh, you're gonna be so quick to get through. And then I don't own the next one. The next one is The Mask Falling, and it's apparently a 7-book series. So it is an ongoing series. That's Samantha Shannon, who wrote Pride of the Orange Tree. That's what more people might know her for. But I highly recommend. So the Priory is the high epic fantasy. This is not. This is kind of dystopian sci-fi fantasy. It's kind of between sci-fi and fantasy. It's a weird world, a weird genre. Not weird. I mean, it is a weird world, but it's a cool world. But I read this. I was thoroughly invested in this. It's very rare for me to read a 500-page book within the time. It took me 3 days to read it. And I read most of it on the second day. Like, I started it on the plane and I got like 100 pages, and then I read the bulk of it, and then I had like 50 pages the next day to read. So I did read this. So highly recommend. Next up is very different. We've got a very, very short book, but we read The Mysteries of Thorn Manor. This is the sequel novella to Sorcery of Thorns, and it was kind of everything that I could hope for. I do wish it was longer, though. I want more. I just want to live in this world with these characters. I love Silas so much, and I love Nathaniel, and I love Elizabeth. I loved Mercy in this as well. Elizabeth's character is so fun because, like, she's a very tall girl who's badass. She carries a sword around. And in one of the things, Nathaniel gives her this suit of armor that was previously cursed. But she's just like, this is the best thing. And then goes out and, like, is decapitating topiaries, just being a badass, enjoying the hell out of this. And Nathaniel is basically, he doesn't say this, but he's basically like, I have never been more turned on in my life. Seeing her in a full suit of armor. I'm like, get you a man who can be Nathaniel like that. Like, get you a man. Get you this man right here, man. It's so funny. And then, like, there's one point where they're going through his like great aunt Clothilda's clothes, and he puts on like her old dressing gown. He's like, how do I look? And she's just like, yeah, we're gonna go bone now. Just their relationship is so fun and so healthy. It's like their goals for relationship. And then you get Silas, who is just like offended by the ridiculous out of fashionness that clothes. Like, he's got to fix it. He has to have everything exactly how he does it. It's why he doesn't get along with their other servant Mercy, because he is so used to be like, this is proper etiquette. And if you do not do this well, I will eat you. I just love Silas, okay? I love him. He's my favorite demon, ace boy, and I want more. Because Silas has served the Thorn family for forever. And I would love to see him through the years. So I would love kind of that. I love the trio of them together. It's just amazing. And so I feel like I feel like we're just not done. We're not done with these characters. There's so much more that can happen. And it's great. I'm so glad we did get to revisit it. I am sad that it's over so quick. I do think this is a book that I will just have to like go back to a lot because it makes me so happy. This is a book that produces high amounts of serotonin for me. So I highly recommend. Okay, now we get to the first, like the 3-star. So this was an audiobook I did read. That is Librarians and the Lost Lamp by Greg Cox. So I love the movies and the show The Librarians. It used to be one of my great obsessions long ago. The movies came out like I think when I was in high school and loved them, was obsessed. Looking back though, I'm like, I see some problems with it though, especially because Flynn, who's not even on the cover, and there's a reason I'm telling you that, he's kind of like nerdy James Bond, where every movie he has a new woman love interest that serves the purpose of basically being his love interest and also providing like something within that world, and then it's dead and gone. And that's not a trope I like established, like doing it in the first book and then keeping that female character around, and letting that relationship bloom and blossom. So Flynn is not actually my favorite character in this. My favorite character is Ezekiel Jones, though. I love most of... I don't actually care for Eve very much either, but she also falls into that Flynn love interest thing, but she's a badass female. But I just never really believed her. I believed all the other characters. Ezekiel's my favorite, though. I do love him. And I love Cassandra. And I love Jenkins a lot. Stone is okay. He's probably my least favorite of like the 3 new librarians, because these are the 3 new librarians. But I did love the show a lot. It's fun. It's kind of campy, but very, very fun that way. The book, though, I wanted more of the people on the cover, and they're not in it a whole lot. It is mostly learning about something Flynn did back in the day, and the narrative really takes over to Flynn's adventure, less of what they're doing. So I wasn't enjoying it as much because it did all of the same tropes that every single one of Flynn's adventures does. So I wasn't a huge fan of it. When we had the scenes with our librarians, I was like, yeah, I'm in it. But it would lose me with Flynn. So I only gave this 3. I'm probably not actually going to continue the novelizations. I'm just going to let the show be what it was and live for that instead. So I don't think I'm going to go. I don't even have the next book. I have the 3rd book, oddly enough. But I think I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of those because they did not bring me joy. They did not spark joy, not like the other books there. So that is what I read. No, it's not. I forgot. I had ebook. I did Kudo Kenshin Volume 3 as well. I read Kudo Kenshin Volume 3, which is Hala's graphic novels, comic manga, really. And it's fine. It's you can tell the age of it. You can tell Hala's mindset in this time. It was produced in 2010. And it follows a lot of standard manga stuff. And I don't really connect very much with manga in general. But it's still an enjoyable story. I just don't have much to say about it because it just feels like, yep, there's kind of standard manga. But it's just not my thing. So I feel like a lot of other people would probably like it because it hits all those good manga parts. But those things are not what I enjoy very much. I like Hala's books more than Hala's manga, but that is not because it's a fault on Hala. It's a fault on me not connecting with manga graphic novels very much. I don't read them very often. It is very hard for me, especially ones that are ongoing, because I'm always like, it always feels cut off too short, and that's because I'm used to reading full giant arcs, whereas like if you turned Mime Order into a manga, it would be like 50 manga. It would be a lot. So the shortness, that's the thing with manga, is it's so short, it's so quick. And I didn't like Paper Girls for the same thing. I didn't like, I'm reading Ancient Magus Bride, but again, it feels too short. It didn't feel like there was a full character arc in it. And I get it because it's just a different medium of storytelling, but it's not my medium for storytelling. That's all. So I read all of those 5 books complete, 2 more almost done, 2 that I finished on the way.
But yeah, so I would say that was fairly successful. Did I read all the books that I brought with me? No, but I had them as options, and they will continue to be options, obviously, as I finish TBRs. I have read like 20 books so far in January, which is, I'm just riding this high, and it is the weekend right now, so I am planning to just do a lot more of being chill and just enjoying the rest of January by reading and not putting pressure on myself to do too much else other than just read some books. Hisvikac is probably my biggest pressure to finish it. I didn't get to touch Hisvikac at all. I do have some arcs that I do have to finish before, like within the next 2 weeks. So I do have to prioritize reading those as well, because I have to be one of the early reviewers for them for these. They're indie books. So I need to do that for those indies. They take high priority, and I have also been commissioned a book. So that book also takes priority to read. So more on that soon. I'm going to continue cleaning. We're going to set up a stream and just love on Mambo, who I think is done eating her treats and possibly is being a bad girl. Hold on, let's go see. What's baby doing? Is she being a good girl? She is being a good girl. I was worried you were being a bad girl, but you're actually being a good girl. Yes, get some water, hydrate, resettle yourself, and then we'll snuggle. Good? Okay. Hi, were you preening me? You didn't want to be on camera preening me? We're back where we belong with a baby. Yeah? Do you want a finger? What do you want to do? You want to be here? We're here. We're back. Like nothing ever changed, right? Nothing changed. We just had a little break. We were on a break. Yeah? What do you think? I know, we need to get your nailsies done. We really need to go get them. So we'll contact Jen today, and we'll see what her schedule's like, so we can get some nailsies taken care of. I think that's a smart plan, right? Is that a smart plan? Should we get the nails done? Should we take care of the nails? We should take care of those nailsies. I would do it myself, but I don't have the tools for it, because you don't like the clips. And I need to get my own Dremel. I am going to get my own Dremel to do your nails for you, just like Jen does. But they're kind of expensive, and I need to get one soon. So we got to work on that one, okay? But we will be getting that for ourselves, so we don't have to depend on Jen's schedule for when she's at World of Birds. Did you want to go in the shirt? We have to go in here now. Goodbye. Hello all. We have finished Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I don't know if that's, I mean, it's encyclopedia, but like encyclopedia, right? Right? Is that how you say it this way? Anyway, love this. I loved this book. I am a sucker for footnotes now. I didn't know I was, but between Babel and this one, I find I really like footnotes. That's a new thing for the 5-star audit. I actually really like the writing style in this. It's very matter of fact. And it's like reading almost kind of textbook journal. It's weird. It feels very different than what I normally read. But I still really love the characters. I love the little twists and turns that we get. Again, it has non-human sidekick. Love that. I love the relationship because like Emily Wilde is very focused on her work. She's self-sufficient. She doesn't want anyone bothering her with stuff. And she's just very determined to be very independent, but then has this huge, great character arc of finding this great sense of belonging with these people in this little Norwegian town, and dealing with Wendell Bambleby, or Bambleby, I'm not sure how you actually say the last name, who is her colleague and only friend, but also not, because like she just butts heads with him because he's like perfect and always gets all the funding and is already tenured, and just he gets everything without doing any work, and she does all the work all the time, and she's very annoyed with him. But I still love his there was only one part of his character I was like, I don't like that part, but for the most part, I did like everything about this. There is a sequel coming out next year. Not until 2024. I want it now. I want to know if there's going to be more than just that, if it's just a duology. Because I feel like you can really extend this world. I just really liked, I did really like the world building. I liked all the Fae. I love Poe. There's actually a couple non-human sidekicks in this, and Poe is one of them, and he's great. I love Poe. He's a little brownie who deserves to be protected at all costs. What is on my chin? I just noticed there's like something on my chin. Is it teriyaki sauce? Who knows? Ignore that. If you've been staring at my chin this whole time, I apologize. I was like, did not notice there was something there. You're welcome. For real cue. Anyway, so this is done and finished and great, and I love it. This is another 2023 release, even though I got it in December. Fairy Loot's been getting books early, so I just realized that the last tale of the Flower Bride actually doesn't officially come out till February. And this came out technically in January, but we're getting it early in Fairy Loot, so thanks, Fairy Loot. So I feel ahead of the game. Yeah. I have not finished Dreams Lie Beneath. I did for a while just play golf with your friends with Fee for several hours, so that kind of cut into that time. I'm probably just gonna go to bed, even though I'm very much wide awake right now as I rub my eyes, but I'm like, I am very awake. So I could continue with I just need to put away books and stuff in that suitcase and rearrange and do my inventory count. I need to make sure that my counts are correct. And then put it all away. And we get ready for the next convention, which I don't think is till March. When's my next convention? Oh, I gotta freaking pay Whimsy, apparently. I thought I already paid WhimsyCon. Anyway, the life of it here. Yes, my next is Whimsy, so I do need to get on with that. Oh, I spelled Thornton wrong. I spelled it Thornton instead of Thornton. Anyway. Wait, Thornton? No, it is spelled that way. It just looks weird. Anyway, MiniCon actually is my first one coming up. That's on the 25th. Whimsy's the 31st of March. So we got some time, especially to order copies of the prequel. Not that a whole lot of people I think will be. Maybe some people. I don't know. It's a quick little thing for people to get. And then they get a sneak peek into Search for the Phoenix as well with that. So, woo! We've got stuff to do. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. I finished that book. We'll finish Dreams Lie Beneath tomorrow. And then we'll read the Black Coats. And that will be the TBR. I'm going to really focus on it. I do have to go out with my mom tomorrow. We're going to do some groceries together. But otherwise, should be good to just, like, do stuff. Cool. This is late. Not late. I'll get this video up in time. We'll see. Anyway, it's good to be back. I'm glad to have Mambo back. I love my baby so much. She's just so sweet. I posted a picture of her sleeping on me. And, like, this camera, yo. This is even the front camera. And it's so detailed with her feathers and stuff. Like, oh, it's such a beautiful photo. It's so good. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go now. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.